quite bad on the PS4 with that LAN cable issue again today. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but when I changed from using the LAN cable to the original Wi-Fi instead, it wouldn't work. It would work for so long, but then I'd just randomly leave a party and it wouldn't work for some things. Which and all of a sudden I just get nat tight with someone or leave with someone, so it technically didn't really work that well. So I connected. So I connected back to the LAN cable, and it was okay for so long, but I've started disconnecting again, and as I just did it then before. Sometimes it happens quite a bit. Some days it'll be constantly happening, it'll happen loads in one night. Then other days it won't necessarily happen for maybe a while. I'll have a good period of having decent internet and not disconnecting or anything like that. But yeah, so that's marked out some of the sand. I think that's gonna be big enough for the beach sand. I'm not entirely sure. If I'm completely 100% honest with you, I'm not entirely sure whether this is necessarily going to be right or not. We need to get rid of this jet now. This was only built for practice. It wasn't actually supposed to stay. It was only supposed to be built as a test and then knocked down, so it can go now. But it was still a really cool looking jet. There we go. There we go, we should just be able to break the rest now. So yeah, I'm really surprised at how close we actually were to the sea, because when I originally first flew out to start putting the ocean in, it really felt like I went really far away, and literally on here, this is the final map. So we are actually on the final map of the world, so it kind of felt like it was it would take ages to get there, but I guess not. So I've got some initial plans I want to do. I've got some initial ideas in terms of how the streets are going to go, heading up towards the seaside area, and that road which goes past the entrance to the housing areas, I kind of want that street to run straight down to the beach, exactly run all the way down. Look, you see, we're already here already. I literally just see. Oh my god, we're practically here, guys. We're practically a matter of a few building blocks away from being here. What I mean by building blocks is we're literally a matter of a couple of building squares away from being at the beach. So what I need to do behind here is I need to extend this housing area a tidgy bit more, not too much more. And then I need to end the housing area going this way. I need to end it in terms of just come out to another main road kind of thing, and have some more stuff heading down towards the industrial area on it. The housing area can extend going back that way, so I've got ideas to do a few bungalows after here, and then I'm gonna do a main road. And then at the other side of this main road, which I want to hopefully do, which is going to be somewhere near here, is I'd like to start terraforming a miniature mountain / hill, and there's going to be a road which runs through a tunnel, and then when you get out of the other side of that tunnel, you're going to come into the seaside area. But what I want to make sure that I do is not do this mountain too close to the beach. So when you come through the mountain, through the tunnel, you're not just directly on the seafront. You go through the tunnel, and then when you transition from going through the tunnel, you get to the modern sort of area of things. You kind of get to the modern life, which is basically, you know, like some more like modern houses, you know, maybe like some modern, you know, like a new modern supermarket, kind of like an area which kind of gets up to date quite a bit, like gets repairs and refurbishments done to it quite regular, because it's a part of the city which is going to be very, very popular. So what I need to do in terms of, you know, getting things going and getting things looking pretty nice is I need to basically get started for heading down towards there. So I know that this street here is just going to go completely all the way down to somewhere near the beach. So all I'm going to do is just drag a simple line of cobble of the footpath down all the way to just up to the sand, and then I can break through to little like road streets and mark out little roads as we get further along. This is just a simple to let you know that this road is going to go all the way down towards the, you know, it's basically going to go all the way down towards the seaside area kind of thing. And oh my god, I've just had a perfect idea, guys. I've had the sickest idea ever. So, you know, we've got this like main road here which transitions from, you know, like, which is going to go through a mountain, right? Well, what we could do is we could make the housing area go through another mountain, but like a smaller tunnel through the mountain, and then it instead transitions from these houses to modern houses. So you kind of got like, you know, you kind of go through this tunnel, and then you've got like loads of smart houses and mountains around it, and you get all the modern houses. So like you come through this area, and when you come through the tunnel, it'll transition to fish and chip restaurants and hotels, things like that. And then when you go through the housing area version, it basically transitions to the what do you call it, to like the modern houses, where you're going to get like really smart houses with like nice views and things like that. That's a sick idea. I can't wait to do that. That's gonna be so cool. Like that's gonna be literally so amazing if we can get that right. So let's go down here then. Let's mark this out. Let's get marking out. Pretty nice. So as I say, I had a bit of a busy day today. It was like busy work side, and I didn't get back in till a little bit later, and then I just needed that little chillax time before coming on the world. But streaming today was literally a really big priority, because I had like this news about being close to the sea to tell you, and when I find out something really good or when something's going well, I get this like really exciting urge to come back on the map the next day and sort of like carry it on. Look, we're nearly here now with the footpath, look. Sick. We've arrived at the seaside, guys. So I'm still not entirely sure though exactly what I want to do, like in terms of like I don't know like exactly like whether this is big enough for the sand exactly. Like it looks pretty huge. It looks decent enough. Like, you know, you can walk down here, and then obviously you've got to consider obviously consider the fact that this row here, you know, like this bit here, is also going to be sand too, like as well. So you can take that into like consideration. And then sometimes where there isn't necessarily going to be a street, for example, we can actually do things like extend the sand a bit further. Like for example, what I may do is like add some form of a walkway somewhere where you may necessarily, you know, for example, might come to some form of you know, like where you can just walk, and there'll be like ice cream parlours and things like that. So I think I'm going to leave it directly in line with this. I think that's going to be pretty decent. So what I basically need to do, like what I want to be doing, which I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do this, because this mountain is like, this beach is it's damn close. It really is close. Maybe, you see, we're actually a lot closer than you think. I think I might have done the sea too close, guys. We're heckishly close. Like, especially if I want to put this mountain in. Like, for example, here, you can see that high school. So that really doesn't give us much room at all. Like, literally there is that little miniature school right there. That there is that miniature school. Right here is that school. And then look, the house is loading. We are really close. I'm really... this is starting to worry me now more than excite me. Because I really don't know, like, how I'm going to fit this mountain in. Like, unless I do the mountain, like, pretty close to here. But there again, we've got another street going down there. So what I'm thinking about, what I might do then, guys, is get rid of this school. Like, I may get rid of it. I may move it, like, down that way instead. And what I may do is I'd just add a few more houses, like maybe to here or something, maybe. And then I may add a mountain instead. Like, it's not going to be like a huge mountain. It's going to be kind of more like a bit more like a hill. It's kind of going to, it might be, I might make a mountain which like transitions to the, I'm gonna have to have a think and a talk with the build team as to how we're gonna like transition the sort of like normal bit to the seaside bit, because we're actually a lot closer than you think. Like literally, like literally you used to fly out so far to get to the sea. The only thing I can think of, like, literally the only thing I can think of is making the sea a tidgy bit smaller. But that's going to be a lot of work. And it's going to make this boat even closer to the shoreline. Which, you know, like, if I was to make the sea shorter, I would probably make it shorter by, you know, like, I'd want to make it at least, like, shorter to here. Like, I'd want to cut back all of this water. Which, don't get me wrong, it still gives you, like, from here, it still gives you a decent size ocean. Like, it still gives you a massive ocean. Like, all of this still look, but it just kind of gives us that little bit further building space. But I'm going to see what the build team think, because I'm not entirely sure what exactly we should do. I would imagine that my friend Shadow will be coming on pretty soon. I'll see if he's online, and he might be able to like put in his ideas. I'll just check I ain't had any invites. Doesn't look like it. Been pretty dead today, actually. Like, no one's hardly been online. Like, Steve hasn't been on. Ant joined and then he hardly spoke, and now he's gone again. Huh. Oh yeah, Jamie is online, but he's playing FIFA 15. There we go. He's online, so I just asked him for his help / opinion. All I really need to do is just help with transitioning the normal area to the seaside area, because it really is like close. Like, because what my original plan was after this high school, not high school, primary school, was to build like you know, a decent sized bungalow area where you have like bungalow houses. So I was at least originally going to do the bungalows to sort of like where this village is. Like that was my original idea, right? Like that was my original plan to do the bungalow area roughly to there, right? Then I was gonna have a mountain, which, you know, a road which gonna then run through, but literally the sand is right there. So if we like at least ended the bungalows in line with this village, you're literally gonna be at the seafront. It's annoying. So also like there is one thing I can think of doing, but I'm not entirely sure like how to do it. But somewhere just behind this village, we could have a mountain. But then I still don't know. The only thing I can think of is just knocking back the sea a tidgy bit. But yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely speak to the build team and think about that. I think I'm starting to prefer what I did on Noble City. I really am. I know that's a bit like, I prefer this city, but I did in Noble City I flew far out to put the sea in, like I did on this. But I also flew far out to build a mountain with a tunnel going through to get you to the seaside, and then literally all I had to do was join the roads to the mountain. So for example, like I knew like roughly like size wise for the beach area. I'm gonna have to see.
Yeah, but the stream will end for another couple hours, dude, so if you want to join me and play, you definitely can.
Oh well, that's all I say. Oh well, I think I'm gonna end the stream there while I like come up with this idea, to find out what I'm gonna do, and then once we're ready to start, you know, doing some more things again, we'll come back to it.
Just join. This is a public game, so anyone can join.
Alright, I'll catch you in a bit.